Introduction to Electricity, Magnetism and Circuits. Content: Capacitors and Capacitance. Learning Objectives. By the end of this section, you will able to explain the concepts of a capacitor and its capacitance. Describe how to evaluate the capacitance of a system of conductors. A capacitor is a device used to store electrical charge and electrical energy. It consists of at least two electrical conductors separated by distance. Note that each electrical conductors are sometimes referred to as electrodes, but more correctly, they are capacitor plates. The space between capacitors may simply be a vacuum, and in that case, a capacitor is then known as vacuum capacitor. However, the space is usually filled with the insulating material known as dielectric. You will learn more about dielectrics in the sections on dielectrics later in this chapter. The amount of storage in a capacitor is determined by a property called capacitance, which you will learn more about a bit later in this section. Capacitors have applications ranging from filtering static from radio reception to energy storage in hard defibrillators. Typically, commercial capacitors have two conducting parts close to one another but not touching, such as those in figure 4.1.1. Most of the time, a dielectric is used between the two plates. When battery terminals are connected to an initially uncharged capacitor, the battery potential moves a small amount of charge of magnitude q from the positive plate to the negative plate. The capacitor remains neutral overall, but with charges plus q and minus q residing on opposite plates. Figure 4.1.1. Both capacitors shown here were initially uncharged before being connected to a battery. They now have charges of plus q and minus q with the plates. A parallel plate capacitor consists of two plates of opposite charge with area A separated by a distance d. A roll capacitor has a dielectric material between its two conducting sheets plates. A system composed of two identical parallel conducting plates separated by a distance is called